Hey guys, it's Nichole Eaton with the Rock Your Soul book and podcast, where we talk about how to hack your mindset, grow your intuition, and live your best life. Welcome back to another episode of the Rock Your Soul podcast. I'm your host, Nichole Eaton, soul therapist and author of the book Rock Your Soul, The Down-to-Earth Guide to Mastering Your Mind. I have been thinking so much. Every time there's a new year or even my birthday, just some sort of transition time period, I think it's always such a good time to reflect on what it is you want. And originally this podcast was going to be about acceptance, but I'm just feeling called to talk about what is it that you want and what is it that you're ready to release in this year. This energy right now for me has been slow, if I'm being honest. I originally felt this excitement for the new year and all the things I wanted to do. And then there was this point at midnight where it was like, okay, things can remain the same or I can actively change them. And I hope you're feeling that energy this week. And I hope you're giving yourself permission this week to be in whatever energy that you feel you are, to accept it, to be at peace with wherever you're at, whether you have a ton of motivation to get things done or whether you don't. That's fine. Wherever you're at is fine. And as we go into this new year, it's a really good time period to just check in with yourself. 2020 was a hard year. And even if for some people it was a good year, it was a year of a lot of change. It was a year of a lot of loss. It was a year of a lot of growth. And I think that 2021 is a year to put a lot of this work that we've been doing into action and actually see and reap rewards from it. But you have to be careful as you're going into a new year to check your mindset. Are you playing the victim to your life? Are you letting the world get the best of you? Are you deciding that nothing can work before you even try to let it work? Because I've noticed that a lot of clients, a lot of people who have come to me, a lot of friends, a lot of family members are in this space where they're just not owning their shit, for lack of a better word. They're not able to say, okay, this is what's going on for me. I accept that this is where I'm at and I'm ready to do something different. I've accepted that this is where I've been at for a while. I accept that I've let myself fall into a pattern that is an old pattern that I'm done with. And I think that is the big theme of this month, of this year, to just look at what's going on and to ask yourself, is this working for me? Is it working for me? Am I going and doing the things that bring me joy? Am I including fun in my life? Am I being intentional about what I want and making a plan to actively get it? Or am I binging Netflix and sulking on the couch? Or am I not following through with a healthy eating plan that I set up for myself? And then you can ask yourself the question of why not? What's happening within me? Why isn't that worth it to me? What happens if I do this 5 to 10 years from now and just this is my life? Is this getting me where I want to go? I think that this is a time period of making uncomfortable choices. And there's the familiar and then there's the unknown. And we are stepping into the unknown. And it's funny because 2020 pushed us into unknown. It forced us into not knowing about much that was happening week by week. Even this week, yesterday I got a call from the school saying that the school schedule is changing from what they were intending it to look like. And it is requiring us to learn how to go with the flow. So we're thankful for that, right? Because going with the flow means that I'm not getting all worked up when plans change, that I'm not having this excessive response or this overwhelmment every single time something shifts that's out of my control. I'm saying, okay, this happened. I have to learn how to flow with it. We can't be worked up about it. I can't waste any more time pissed about something that's out of my control. If it's in my control, cool. I can look at it. I can plan for it. I can do something about it. If it's something outside of my control, we have to say, okay, this is what it is. It's annoying, but it is what it is. We accept it. We flow with it. And that's a gift because I think that once you're in a state of flow, you're also in a state of receiving. When you can find a state of flow where you're not resisting your life, where you're not fighting everything that comes your way, where you're not so upset about the smallest details changing in your world, that is when you're in such a state where things can just show up for you. Because if we think of energy and we think of frantic energy and energy of resistance, which is a low energy, which is an anxious energy, Energy of resistance basically means that I'm creating energetic blocks through my thought patterns to what I want. So when we want something, when we desire something, when we begin to manifest something, we do it with positive intention. We do it with hope that that thing can come back. And when we start to get into an anxious space or a fearful space, we actually block the flow from receiving that thing back. So the anxious space, if you can think about frantic energy like radiating off of you and creating a block or barrier between you and what you want, that's exactly what it's doing. You're basically saying, I no longer trust the universe to help me out. I no longer trust myself to figure it out. I no longer believe in a possibility outside of the one that I can see. And the thing is there's so many possibilities. There's so many possibilities. The one thing that you're looking at, that job that you think you need, that relationship that you think you have to have, that piece of whatever that needs to come through, that is one form or way or possibility that it may work for you. However, it's not the only one. And when we can begin to expand our ability to receive any possibility, we open up a whole different field of energy for us to allow things in, to allow things to happen better than we can possibly think them up, because our brains are finite and they don't have the capacity to think outside of what we know unless we're intentionally reading or intentionally meditating or intentionally doing things to expand our ability to accept possibility or trust that the universe is so abundant and so many possibilities are at our fingertips at all times, that our brain doesn't have the capacity to think outside of what we know. It is a machine. It is something that repeats what we know and repeats the patterns and repeats the thoughts and repeats unless we implement something new. So as we approach this year, it's about stepping into flow in a true way. When I say flow, we're not being victims to the universe. When I say flow, we're accepting and we're not creating more resistance in our life than we need. We're not creating more negative energy. We're not creating more anxiety. We're not creating a ton of stuff that's just blocking us from receiving what we want. We're allowing it. We're saying, okay, I don't know why this happened, but I'm still intending that things will work out for me. This is just a blip on my radar. This is just something that's come up, and the things that I know are on my heart and I need in my soul, they're going to happen. Because I trust the universe will show up for me. I trust God. I trust source. I trust whatever it is you trust, that my higher self, to figure it out. Because I know there's possibilities, and I know even that if I can't see them, they're still coming. And when I begin to get into a state of trust instead of a state of fear, that is when the floodgates open. And the thing is that I'll say is you cannot be in a state of trust and looking and needing evidence of it. I think faith truly happens when nothing looks like what you intended and you're still believing that it can happen for you. That is true faith. When nothing in front of you looks like it is what you're manifesting. True faith is when you're saying, okay, well, I still believe it can come. When you start to get into a space where you're manifesting and you like need evidence and you need it quick, that's not true manifesting. That's control. So true manifesting is when I say, okay, if it's going to take a month, I know that God needs a month. If it's going to take a week and a half, I know that the universe needs a week and a half. You don't get to decide your timeline, although I think you can release barriers to make it easier and quicker, because I notice the things that I'm less worried about when I manifest them, they just show up for me. So releasing the resistance by accepting the situation, by coming back to your intentions, by coming back to your faith. And a lot of people ask me, how do I manifest better? How do I manifest more in my life? How do I get to that like level? And I think my biggest tip to you in this year is develop a relationship with a higher source, a higher power, whether that's God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, whether that's just believing that you have a wiser, smarter soul in you that knows better. And there is a part of you that knows. And I think there's a part of you that when you speak about, and even if you have a lot of reservations about religion or whatever it is you believe in, even if there's a lot of like hold back, there is still something in you that kind of recognizes and feels good to talk about something bigger being in your favor. and being on your team, and it feels good. And there is, I think, a soul recognition of this thing in you, around you, that we can acknowledge is looking out for you, as is part of you, is an energetic extension of you. And so when you can develop a relationship where you say, I don't know why this is happening. I don't like it. I don't have to like it, but I can at least acknowledge that I still believe that good things can happen for me. I still believe that I can be in a better position financially, or I can be in a better position with the school I want to get into, or I can be in a better position with the things that are going on in my life. I can feel better because I trust that there's an option out. I may not see it, but I trust that there's an option out. So our goal this year is, again, to step into flow so that we can receive. It's a win-win. When you're in flow, it feels good. It feels better. It feels like you're not fighting your existence, because that sucks. Nobody wants to wake up and fight their feelings every day. I have been there. I know that feeling of just, oh God, I don't want to feel this anymore. I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to feel this way. And the fact of the matter is that, yeah, I feel that way. And the sooner I say, okay, it's okay for me to feel this way, but how long am I choosing to stay there? That's the game changer. That's the power that we don't know we have, is when we stop saying, I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to feel this way, and say, okay, I do. But what am I going to do about it? Because from there, we can stop creating a momentum of negative energy by hating it, by being upset about it, by feeling guilty about it. And we can say, okay, I'm allowed to feel whatever the fuck is showing up for me. I'm allowed to feel that. It's okay. And now that I accept this, now I can move into an action space of, how do I want to feel this and move out of it? What do I need to do to make myself feel a little bit better within this? Because when you feel guilty, when you feel upset, when you feel like you shouldn't feel this way, I guess this is about acceptance after all. I guess we are moving. I was going to plan on not talking about acceptance today, but this is acceptance. This is moving into acceptance, is when we say, okay, I accept that I feel that way. And I'm not fighting that I feel that way anymore, because let me tell you that guilt and shame have no business in healing. They just don't. They are never tools to get you feeling better. So the quicker we can neutralize them by just accepting that we feel that way, allowing ourselves space to feel whatever the hell we're feeling, that's the golden ticket to moving forward. I swear to you, if you're in a situation and you're feeling, and this is my key word, if I know I need to accept something, my key word is, I'm feeling stuck. If you're feeling stuck right now in anything in your life, any area of your life, simply say, I accept I feel stuck right now. I'm open to releasing that. Do you see how different that feels than, oh my God, I wish I wasn't stuck right now. I wish I wasn't stuck. God, I wish I just could feel better. It sucks so bad. Like, do you see how accepting and opening yourself up to moving forward is different than sitting in a negative energy and letting the negative energy momentum? Because two things happen when we're in a negative energetic momentum, is that we gather more like feelings and more like thoughts. And the more like thoughts lead to more alike feelings. And then it deepens the feeling and it gives more evidence of the feeling. And then we begin to feel it on a deeper level, which means it's also harder to get out of. So the minute we start to accept it, not judge it, not decide what it means about us, but just accept it. Because the thing is that the past only matters to the extent that you give it permission to. The past only decides the things about you that you allow it. Here's the thing, is the past means nothing. That feeling, it means nothing about who you are. It means nothing. It only is given meaning from you, by you. And you're the only one who can release that. And that's your power, is you can release that. You can say, okay, I accept this. I might not want to feel this way, but I accept that I am. And I accept that it's okay. What do I need to do to feel a little bit better? Again, we're moving out of an energy of negative momentum into an energy of acceptance, which is the absolute greatest neutralizer. Accept where you're at today, accept what's going on, and then game plan. Okay, cool. I accept this. I accept that I feel a little stuck. I accept and open up myself up to feel a release of it. And again, it just feels better. And all we're looking for in life, in your day, because today is it. Today is all you have. Today is the only thing you're going to control or, make moves in. You can plan for the future, but you can't decide what it's going to be in this very moment, because in this moment, you're fine. In this moment, you have the power to neutralize your thoughts. You have the power to reach for a better feeling. You have that all within you. So why not? Why stay there? You can't beat yourself up anymore. We're done with that. We left that shit in 2020. We're done. We get to decide something new. We get to move forward with our lives. We get to explore and we get to have the things we want and we get to make the moves that get us out of old patterns. And it's up to you right now in this moment to say, I'm ready. Move forward with your life this year. Let it be slow. Let it be steady. Let it be a day-to-day process. Let it just be about today, that you're going to get through today and you're going to feel a little bit better than yesterday. And that's all you need. It's just a little bit better, because soon a little bit better rolls into a lot of bit better. And soon a lot of bit better rolls into, wow, I can't even imagine feeling the way I used to feel. There was a time in my life where I was so depressed, it was so hard for me to get out of bed. I have a genetic composition built for depression. But I have never decided past the point of coming out of that is who I need to be. And that is why I moved out of psychology in a lot of ways as a traditional therapist, because I hated putting labels on people that allowed them to decide that that is their future and that is all they will experience. Yes, it might be a side effect, might be something you deal with, it might be a day that you have, and we accept it. But then we also say, okay, I don't let that win. That's part of me. It's not me entirely. I choose better for myself. I choose to do the things I know that feel a little bit better. I choose to find the coping skills that feel good to me. I choose to open myself up to new experiences. I choose to make myself a little uncomfortable. I choose to allow good feelings. I choose to accept what's happened in the past as the past and decide that it means nothing about my future. You get to decide. I love creating my life. I love it. And I love that you get to design everything you are, everything you do, everything you feel, everything you experience. You get to come back and say, do I want this? That's your power. Acceptance and redesigning. If something's not working, we redesign it. If something's not working, we can work together in a session. We can work together through my programs, but we can work together to say, okay, this is what it's been, and I'm done with that. This is what it's been, and I'm done with that. That is no longer who I choose to be. I choose to be someone who easily walks away from things that are no longer meant for me. I choose to be somebody who loves to step into my power. I choose to be someone who's no longer a victim to anything that happens, but is somebody who accepts it, rolls with it, flows with it, and moves on. Choose differently this year. That is your power. Accept what's going on, stop fighting it, and give yourself permission to have a better existence. It can be better, and I promise you that. And I feel so strongly about that I will say that all day long, because again, I used to be there. And I was talking to another coach the other day, and she was saying something to me like, I feel like a fraud, Nichole. I feel like a fraud because I'm teaching these things, but I'm in this space in my life. And I said to this person, I said, okay, that's how you know. That's how you know you're meant to help people, because sometimes you have to go through it before you can be so sure about it that you can allow other people to know it's possible. And that is our work. Whether you're a coach, whether you're somebody who does finance, whether you're somebody who, was 18 years old and just starting out your life and you're not even sure what direction, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're at. It matters what you do in this moment, what you do today, and how you commit to yourself and how you show up for yourself. And that is the vibe of 2021, guys. We're rolling into it slow and steady, and that's totally cool and fine. And you don't have to do anything major or excessive or over the top, and you don't have to push harder than you're ready to. Feel through it. What do you need today? What does that look like? What does that feel like? How does it feel a little bit better than yesterday? How do you want it to? Man, it would be nice to have a bubble bath today. Maybe it would be nice to read a book that you have been trying to get through all of last year that you just couldn't focus on. Find the things that work for you. And again, I will help you. I will show up for you through sessions you can book with me, NicholeEaton.com, or follow me on Instagram, NicholeEaton.xo, for a ton of free content, as well as my Facebook group, which is Rock Your Soul Clarity in Facebook. Just search Rock Your Soul. But I hope you guys are settling into the energy. I hope you're giving yourself permission to allow it to be whatever you want it to be. And I look so forward to producing more awesome content that's helpful and healing and just radiating love this year. I love you all. Let me know if you need anything, and I hope you have a happy, happy New Year. Thank you so much for listening to the Rock Your Soul book and podcast. Take a moment to book a one-on-one personalized soul therapy session with me or catch a live event by visiting www.nicholeeaton.com or follow me on Instagram at nicholeeaton.xo. Thank you.